This wedding was an assignment for my Religion 2 class in Catholic school.
This one's wife. The network crumbles. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. More sophisticated narcissists than this one's wife can get up to their Machiavellian activities, their manipulations, their shafting of people, and maintain an unbroken facade to the outside world. The greater narcissists and some upper mid-range narcissists are able to do this, whereby their nefarious activity occurs in private, on the down low, and as a consequence of extensive reach, power, money, influence, they are able to ensure that those activities may not even be spoken about by way of a rumour. This enables that narcissist to continue unfettered, nullifying those potential threats to control and ensuring that their dirty work, which invariably exists, doesn't meet the light of day. It enables them to be seen by the public as still successful, possibly likeable, that they can maintain their networks, that they are able to influence people, because the true nature of what they get up to is never seen. And even if it is hinted at, there is insufficient evidence to merit any real action being taken against this individual. This one's wife's narcissism isn't effective enough to prevent her network from crumbling as a consequence of so many people seeing the way that she is. Whilst there are plenty of rumours about her past and rumours about what goes on behind closed doors, there have been enough incidents whereby she has said things and done things which have been recorded and seen in public, which demonstrate her narcissism. This has meant that brands, fashion houses, cosmetic giants, A-list stars have thought to themselves, no, she's a problematic person, we may have witnessed that firsthand, or we've certainly seen it in terms of reportage about her when she's been doing things, and furthermore, she's increasingly unpopular, we do not want to be associated with that. Her facade simply has not been up to the job, which means that her networks have started to crumble. And that bastion of journalistic excellence, Heat, has picked up on that by explaining it's no secret that this one's wife and Prince Harry's A-list contacts are rapidly drying up. The network is crumbling. The Beckhams no longer associate with them, see parts passing, nor do the Clooneys, see parts passing. And now this one's wife is determined to hold on to one of her few remaining high-profile friendships she has left, Beyonce. When this one's wife, 42, was spotted sporting a tracksuit from Bey's Ivy Park label while filming in Beverly Hills Park last week, many assumed the Duchess was hinting at a collaboration with the Halo hitmaker. Well, naturally, this one's wife would be seeking to triangulate people wearing something from Beyonce's clothing line. But now, a source tells Heat that it was actually an attempt to keep her most famous friend close. Our insider says this one's wife was filming for her new Netflix series and specifically chose to wear Ivy Park to highlight her connection to Beyonce and send a message that they're still friends. Well, of course, that might be news to Beyonce, and it would not be a surprise to find that this one's wife would be wearing clothing from her line to, 1, triangulate with viewers to say, see, I'm good chums with her, and 2, in an attempt to manifest, as something that she often does with her magical thinking, to cause Beyonce to approve of her and want to remain friends with her. The source continues with practically every other famous friend distancing themselves from her and Harry as the network crumbles. This one's wife is understandably worried that their Hollywood network is falling apart, and Beyonce is the most well-known of the few stars who will still associate with her. Well, I have to state I haven't seen any association between the two as of late, and therefore this more might be in the head of this one's wife. She feels she needs her support to save the Sussex brand. When this one's wife and Harry, 39, tied the knot in 2018, they had a host of famous people in attendance, including the Beckhams, the Clooneys, Idris Elba, Serena Williams. But following Megxit and the ongoing tensions with Harry's family, more and more celebs have distanced themselves from the pair. Amal and George Clooney, who once holidayed with the Sussexes in Lake Como, failed to invite them to their charity awards due the Albies in October. Snub, threat to control. While David and Victoria Beckham have chosen to align themselves with Prince William and Kate. Another snub, and wounding as a consequence of the association with the one that got away and a nemesis. So, not wanting to lose another celeb pal, Heat's told that this one's wife is doing everything that she can to stay close with Queen Bee. Our insider explains this one's wife's really going for it. She invited this one's wife to their 4th of July party, despite not having spoken to her in months. Well, pausing there, I haven't seen any reportage about this supposed 4th of July party, and the fact that they hadn't spoken in months is perhaps demonstrative of the fact that Beyonce doesn't want anything to do with her either. But the desperation of this one's wife is such that in order, as usual, because she's self-serving in everything that she does, she hoovers Beyonce to try and draw her back into her influence, that she seeks to take her off the shelf as a non-intimate secondary source and basically hang out with her. Apparently, she also reached out to Parkwood Entertainment, which is Beyonce's production company, about producing an upcoming project she's working on. I dare say there was a lot of laughter in relation to that. The source adds that this one's wife will use any connection she has to get close to Beyonce. We're told she's even talked about forging a closer friendship with Beyonce's sister, Solange. Again, this is demonstrative of the behaviour of the narcissist, that her involvement with Beyonce is purely self-serving, subconsciously pursuing the prime aims. And in order to get to that, she will try and use an indirect route. She doesn't want to be friends with Solange, she simply wants to use her to get to the bigger named sister. Once again demonstrating the narcissist in action. It would appear also that that's not the only person that she's reached out to. The insider says that this one's wife is still very close to Tyler Perry. She and Harry stayed in his home when they first moved to the United States, and she's desperately trying to use that connection too. He's friends with Beyonce, and this one's wife is hoping he'll invite them both to his place to hang out. This one's wife first showed her love for this one's wife on social media, congratulating the Duchess on her pregnancy with Archie. She met the royal couple in person at the UK premiere for The Lion King in 2019. Since then, the pair have remained incredibly supportive of each other, with Beyonce praising the former Suits star following her controversial Oprah interview. "Thank you, this one's wife, for your courage and leadership. We are all strengthened and inspired by you," she wrote. For her part, this one's wife was spotted having the time of her life at Beyonce's Renaissance tour in September 2023. See Parts Passing. Although, of course, we didn't actually see any photographs of her with Beyonce, we just saw her dancing in a silver dress in a VIP box, whilst Harry looked like he'd rather be at home. But it's not just this one's wife trying to cement the friendship. Her mum, Doria Ragland, was photographed with Beyonce's mum, Tina, at an art event earlier this year. And now she's also pushed Harry to get involved. The source says Harry has reached out to Jay-Z about getting involved with his charity foundation and asked for a meeting to discuss philanthropic work. This is all indicative of the way that a narcissist would behave. She's not interested in a friendship because she likes the people involved. She's not interested in a friendship for friendship's sake. She's only interested in a friendship because of what it'll do for her. And because her network crumbles as a consequence of the way that she has behaved, her narcissism is simply saying, you've got to hold on to other people or get them off the shelf and be more involved with them. The Clooneys don't want to know you. The Beckhams don't want to know you. Other members of the A-list laugh about you. You need to salvage something in order to get that control and fuel. Accordingly, it causes this one's wife to try harder to resurrect the friendship with Beyonce. It doesn't look like it's actually succeeding so far, but that's not going to stop her in trying to get other people to do her dirty work for her by virtue of using her mother, Doria, as a lieutenant, and also Harry, the intimate partner primary source, as a lieutenant by causing him to contact Jay-Z, who's probably thinking, why on earth would I want to bother with this ginger tosser? Once again, This one's wife finds her network crumbling as a consequence of the fact of her own behaviours, although she can't see it. And, once again, her narcissism has caused the problem, her narcissism seeks to cure the problem, but all it does is highlight just how much she is a self-serving individual, and that she is the problem. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.